Hey all, this is Zers coming at you with a bit of a first impressions video. People have been asking me to do these. I've done it for every other DLC except I think I missed Alexander and Persia, but they were relatively self-explanatory. So let me jump in and do this one now. For fun and profit, we have here two new civs. We have Indonesia and we have the Khmer. So we'll start Khmer. I know, I understand where they're from. Cambodia-ish region. I get it, I know. But we'll start with Indonesia just for shits and giggles because why not? I think the two civs can be summed up as making faith not suck as much. Frax has been doing a couple things to improve the religious game, to make it clearer, you know, who prophets and apostles represent, give them flanking and support bonuses, all that good stuff. So I think it's kind of on that trend that where these two civs come from. So more or less, that's kind of what we're looking at here. So Gitarja of Indonesia, her unique ability. Naval units can be purchased with faith, and apparently that is somewhat at a discount, if I remember. I watched the video too, so I took some notes on some of this, which I need to make sure it's right. And religious units pay no movement to embark or disembark, so we can spread your religion a little harder. And +2 faith to city centers that are adjacent to coast or lake tiles. FYI, this is gonna be a theme. If you ever wanted to play any civ on an island's map, this would be the one. This would be the one, because coasts and water tiles and lakes are all gonna be super clutch for her. So Indonesia, find water, profit. Don't find water, not so good. But anyways, 2 faith, so lots of faith, better movable religious units, cheaper units to buy with faith for naval units. So even if you don't get a religion per se, it's worthwhile to build up faith, right? Because then you can grab a emergency frigate or something, or emergency, whatever, okay, a galley. Something fun. Anyways, so that's the main thing she does. How about Indonesia proper? Well, Indonesia proper has a couple things to benefit itself here. Number one is the unique ability of the Great Nusantara. Coastal lake tiles provide a minor adjacency bonus for holy sites, campuses, industrial, and theater square districts. Again, settle on coast and lake. Do you see a theme? +1 amenity from entertainment districts for each entertainment complex adjacent to a coastal or lake tile. Again, find water, get bonuses. Kind of a simple but powerful bonus depending on the map. Very map dependent, I think, but can make it work. This could work probably on a fractal map too, with some of the snaky continents. Often you can turn a shitty location into a pretty good one. So, you know, kind of an interesting way to play. Since I do play a lot of fractal, this might be feasible in my near future. Who knows? Next one, unique unit is a replacement for the frigate. It's kind of like, oh, there's a unit like this that did it. But anyway, all the formations, so any support units like great people or admirals or things, inherit their movement speed. So the escort's movement speed, so the Zhang's movement speed. And it has +5 combat strength in formation. So definitely give it something like an apostle or anything can be in formation with, and then it gets +5 strength. So again, a reason to maybe get faith, just throw out apostles for shits and giggles, even for someone else's religion, and you get bonuses on your frigate. It's a thought. So, I mean, nothing too crazy or groundbreaking here, but it's a nice boost. It goes with the naval theme. Can't complain. This is pretty neat, though. This is, I think, is the neatest part of the whole Indonesian design. It's a unique district. It's called a kampung. Oh, no, it's not a district. It's a improvement, I think, actually. Let me rephrase. Gives you +1 production, +1 housing, and +1 food for each adjacent fishing boat. Well, +1 production, +1 housing baseline, I think, and then +1 food for each adjacent fishing boat, which is pretty damn good, especially because you can build this on coast. Additional production, housing, and tourism is advanced through the eras from technology and civics. Got to be placed on a coast or lake tile adjacent to a sea resource. So you got to make sure you got fish, you got crabs, other stuff in the water. But when you do, these are going to be real good and make use of those coastal tiles. Again, if you don't have a lot of land as Indonesia, you can definitely basically build land for yourself with these kampung and make those coasts, make those lakes really, really, really good. So I do like this part of the design of the civ and the UA. I think the unique unit, take it or leave it. This ability is neat. It kind of goes into the religious game, but really both these together make it so that you can really make shitty land good. You know what I mean? Like, you make land that's settled on coast, land that's not got a lot of good tiles to work on, land kind of feasible, as long as you got fish. As long as you got fish. Otherwise, it's still going to be pretty hard. But it's a neat way of playing, good for islands, possibly good for fractal. I kind of like the design. These two I can take or leave, could be more interesting, but hey, whatever. Sometimes you got to spend a lot of bonuses on it. And next is Jayavarman the 7th of the Khmer. So Khmer, Jayavarman, let's talk Alrighty, his unique... That joke's not going to get old, is it? It already got old. I'll stop. Alright. His unique ability. Holy sites provide +2 food and +1 housing if placed on a river. Holy sites trigger a culture bomb. Hey, look! A reason to build holy sites. I mean, okay, fine. On higher difficulties, yeah, okay. So even if you can't win a religious victory, it may behoove you to build some of these if you're low on housing and get food. It's not bad. The trigger bomb... I mean, the culture bomb trigger... If you need some quick tiles, do it early, but, you know, it might be an argument to leave holy sites for later, and if you have an annoying, encroaching enemy, just kind of bomb their land for shits and giggles. I don't know. It's an interesting way to play. I'm not sure how much is going to improve holy sites per se, but it definitely gives them a function outside of just taking up space, or, well, so I didn't get a religious victory, now what do I do with all this faith kind of a situation. Alrighty. The Khmer. What do they do in general? So Grand Berets is the unique civilization ability, +3 faith and +1 amenity from entertainment to each city with an aqueduct. So, build aqueducts. Farms provide +2 food if adjacent to an aqueduct. Again, build aqueducts. It's kind of like Rome in the sense that you don't get a unique aqueduct, but you get stuff from aqueducts. So it's not faster to build, which I do kind of prefer Rome's aqueduct, because you generally don't build aqueducts much. And, when you do, you want it to go kind of quick, but that's another reason to build aqueducts. So it kind of takes those two districts that you don't really see that often in high-level games, holy sites and aqueducts, and makes them more useful and gives you amenities, food, and housing, which you need to grow. And 3 faith, because why the hell not? I mean, it's a unique way to make districts that you really wouldn't probably build a lot be a reason to build, and I can see some value in that. Alrighty, this is what you all have been waiting for. It's the Domray. It's an elephant with a giant crossbow on its back. Need I say more? Well, it is basically, I think, a catapult, stronger catapult replacement or something along those lines. Can move and shoot in the same turn, exert zone of control. This thing is broken as hell, I think. It sounds amazingly strong, especially because the AI is not exactly stellar at combat, and this gives you expert crew baseline, effectively. Unless this has some serious weaknesses, this is going to be an absolute terror of a unit. Absolute terror of a unit. And he'll be knocking over city after city after city after city in the medieval era. This is frightening. I can't wait to see it in action, but this is frightening. In the hands of a player, this could be devastating. So, building districts you generally wouldn't for bonuses, a ridiculously strong siege unit, and then last but not least, a prasat. It's a temple replacement. You don't see a lot of those. But again, you might actually be building holy sites, so hey, why not? So required. This is required to purchase apostles and inquisitors of faith. I think this is, again, because it replaces temples. Missionaries purchased in the city receive the martyr. And this is really good. Martyr is probably one of the best abilities for missionaries, or apostles even. I mean, the missionaries with martyr is pretty sick, because normally it's only available to apostles, if I'm not mistaken, unless you have a wonder, but I'm not too sure on that, because I'm not too keen on the religious game. But martyr is amazing, because it's a good promotion that is good even if you don't get a religious game going, if you can't go for a religious victory, because it gives you relics. And that in itself is a lot of early tourism. If your missionaries pop for relics, that's pretty sick. So, you know, leave them with one move, send them into theological combat somewhere, have them die, get a relic, and profit. Honestly, I was going to say missionary, but I can say profit too, I guess. So, a neat strategy to play that, actually. It's cool because they're using holy sites for taking territory, using holy sites to make tourism. I think this civ is a lot more unique than the Indonesian civ in the sense that it's a little more complicated and the mechanics work together a little better. But not to say the Indonesian civ is bad by any means. It's the focus there is making use of coastal or land that's not very good, or when you don't have a lot of land. And this one is focused on making districts that aren't so good. Unique ways of using faith that's not faith-based, and also a giant stompy unit that'll just murder everything else. I kind of like this guy. Alrighty, so there's my first impressions, more or less. That was totally unscripted, so I apologize if I was stumbling over my words a bit, but it's late, I'm tired, and I just realized I have this DLC for free, so I want to do one of these because people have been asking for it. So, any comments below? Obviously, love to spar verbally for ideas and things if you agree or disagree. I've been Nurse. I'll see you all next time on the Civ series. I know we're in the middle of Civ 5 Vox Populi right now, but, you know, Civ 6 is always around. We'll probably maybe go back to it at some point. It depends on what you want to see, so let me know about all this stuff for fun and profit, and I've been Nurse. I'll see you all next time. Till then.